So welcome to another vlog, and today we are talking about Chamath Palihapitiya, the non-executive chairman of Virgin Galactic and the billionaire that is very vocal about the stock market and in general, very smart person. In my personal opinion, one of the most smartest person that you can actually follow. So make sure to follow him on Twitter. And today I want to show you also him is not always right. And what I like about him is that he's actually very vocal about things. He has his own podcast with some friends, which is called All In Podcast. And if you don't know Chamath Palihapitiya, let me give you a small introduction, really just, 30 seconds. He began as an immigrant that lived in Canada, moved to the US, met Mark Zuckerberg in the very early Facebook days, worked for AOL before, then moved to Facebook as a very early executive, was part of the scaling, multi-billion user scaling, and exited the company with a lot of cash, started his own venture fund, invested into Amazon early, invested into Bitcoin early, invested into Tesla early as well. And then you could also see that he also invested into some startups like Slack that also, went crazy. Okay, so obviously with this great investments, he has first an eye for the next big things. Second, he's very tech savvy in terms of, okay, what is the right mixture between founder, between technology? If you're looking all of his content, his interview, he's so smart, he's very sharp. And this is actually what I love about him. That's why I'm following him. And he was a big reason why I actually decided to invest into Virgin Galactic as well. This was, by the way, his first SPAC. And talking about SPAC, he's the SPAC king, okay? He wanted to raise at least 26 SPACs from IPO-A to IPO-Z, okay? Plus, he has additional lot of pipes, which is investment into public equity. So it's very interesting what he's doing right now, okay? So actually, if you are following him on Twitter, he posted something where he was wrong about, and exactly this is where we're diving in right now. Okay, let's go into the Twitter account of Chamath Palihapitiya. And just a couple of days ago, he tweeted actually the following: "I'm not an investor in Coinbase. I totally missed it. That said, I also got really lucky because many years earlier, I invested as an LP, which means limited partner, with an investor who owns a large stake. What did I get wrong? What did he get right?" Okay, so the nice thing about Chamath is that he also analyzing his mistakes and trying to improve and sharing this openly, publicly, and this is fantastic. So let's dive in. So he said the following: "They were investors in Bitcoin with me, but I didn't get his incremental decision. I remember them talking to me about it and I was skeptical. My logic was that there was better convexity in Bitcoin itself. Why own the exchange when you can own the currency itself, right?" And I think this is my personal intake into that people were actually afraid of the blockchain technology itself. It's much easier to go to a company, they make all the wallet for you and you just put in the money with your credit card and then buy some Bitcoin, right? So as it turned out, there was an important secret hiding in plain sight. Bitcoin was the first asset where you could own the protocol and the companies built on top of it. This unique feature is still poorly understood in crypto land. So also very important that, all of these new companies and those actual, projects that you can see with all those new coins, with all of those great things that are built on, and currencies are actually built on the blockchain itself. So you have like an asset and then everything on top built on it. Okay, so this is very important to understand, guys. The right decision then was to invest in neither or invest in both. The latter would have turned out to be the best decision, obviously, okay? So actually he's saying, okay, best case scenario back then, he would invest into Coinbase as well as in Bitcoin. So they saw this, but I was biased and I didn't. Lesson learned. Congrats and good luck to Coinbase, Brian Armstrong and the entire team. You have built a monster. Okay, so what we have learned here, the learning factor, I think, is that, first, people can be right. I was wrong at some points, Chamath was wrong. As more mistakes you actually make, it's better for you to get a better investor, okay? First of all. Second, I think that you can really see here that Coinbase developed in this very big infrastructure, having more and more coins. I remember in the very beginning, and I was a Coinbase customer too, when I invested into Bitcoin the first time, 2017 or so, I went and opened an account with Coinbase. I loved the experience, I loved the app, I loved everything about it, and it just got better over time, obviously, and more popular. So you can see that the hype on Coinbase is huge, and therefore I think that this will be a very interesting IPO. I can imagine that it can go both ways, okay? With the current hype onto Bitcoin, it can go, even to maybe $100 billion valuation, while on the other side, if we're seeing a little bit of a cool down market, and this is, including crypto, then, we might see a $40 billion Coinbase. So either way, it stays interesting. They have absolutely insane growth numbers. I made a video about that, so check it out on my channel. Let's dive into the conclusion of this video, because this is super important what you will learn there, and make sure to watch it till the very end. So first, in the conclusion, let me tell you guys, check out the X10 Masterclass if you want to have 140 vlogs never published on this channel and to want to become a better investor. Then this is the way to go, an online course where you can learn about stocks and how to find this innovative companies like Tesla and make a lot of money and live financially free. This is how I did it, and I put it all into a video course that you can buy now on x10masterclass.com. Now, let's talk about what we heard today. So for once, I want to emphasize that, following the right people is in 2021 something beautiful. I mean, where in the world and age of the history of humankind you could be so close to your favorite investor, to your favorite billionaire, to your favorite entrepreneur, rather, than traveling or having the right connections? You can now follow them on social media. You can follow their podcast. You can actually, follow them every single interview they ever gave in the click of a button, totally for free. I mean, let's appreciate that for a second.
2 seconds later.
All right, and now let's have a look into something that I think is very much complex at some point, but also what is fantastic great. So first of all, let's talk about the IPO of Coinbase. For me, it would be the right company because it's an innovative, disruptive consumer company and has a great team on it and, great investors. But I believe that currently, with the huge run on Bitcoin, and I believe in the long term of Bitcoin, don't get me wrong, but currently we have a huge run on Bitcoin. I think as of this recording, we just crossed $60,000 for one Bitcoin. This is insane, guys, okay? For every asset out there, this is insane numbers. And that's for one. So the Coinbase valuation is very tied to the Bitcoin valuation and the huge gain. So maybe when we see a little bit of a cool off and then Coinbase with its 2 billion revenue and 67 billion valuation comes a little bit down, I would say it's maybe something that I would invest, because I'm really believing in the long term of the company of Bitcoin. And just to remind you guys, they're having 56 million users, okay? This is bigger than any bank out there except JP Morgan. This is insane if you're thinking about that, okay? So this is fantastic. Obviously, this is innovative. This is disruptive. This is the future. And it's all decentralized and it's all blockchain. So it's very, very much futuristic, exactly what I really like. So in general terms, I like it. I don't like the valuation that much. I think there's a little bit hype around that. I think I can buy in and later point a little bit cheaper. You never know. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I need to buy it then for $100 billion valuation. But that's it, okay? That's the life, and I'm concentrating on other stocks as well, as you know, on this channel. So check it out, subscribe, like, and see you. And as always, with best decentralized regards from Dubai.